Hey, what's up, people? It's your boy Olumuyiwa George here. I'm the host of Niger Beast Review Podcast. Welcome to the 5th episode of the Niger Beast Review Podcast. I skipped last week's edition. I apologize for that, but I must commend myself. I've actually been consistent with the podcast so far since I picked it up again and said I was going to be releasing an episode every week. It's just 1 week I skip, but still, welcome to the 5th episode. I hope you all have been good. Hope you had a great Easter. Hope you've been fine. Hope business has been going on well. Hope work has been going on well. I thank you all for listening to me, for finding my content worthy enough to listen to it. So you guys should just have fun. I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So for last week's episode, in episode 4 of the podcast, I had a guest on the show. His name is Ebuka. Ebuka is a businessman, a young entrepreneur in whom someone I respect very well. He's a corporate guy. He works in the banking sector, and he has a side hustle which has been doing very well. So we come together, discuss on how to promote businesses, how to move our businesses forward. And for the edition in which I had Ebuka, we talked about how you can gain experience before starting your own business. You just don't jump into a business without getting experience. Somehow you should actually learn the business in which you want to go into. So today's episode is something in line with that direction. I put up a poll somewhere, and I said, I want to record this podcast. What should I talk about? And then someone approached me and said, hello, can you please talk about how a young graduate can survive after school? Yeah, I know that most of my listeners here are entrepreneurial, people who are working class already, people who have their businesses already. But then I got to find out that people who just left school, aspiring workers, also listen to the podcast. So, not neglecting any segment of my audience, I will talk about how a young graduate can actually survive after school, before getting a job or before starting a business. So today's episode would be about how to survive immediately after graduating from school. Interesting topic. Okay, so let's just head right into it. So I have to be very, very honest. The educational system in Nigeria is very bad. The Nigerian university curriculum is far outdated. What you learn in the university, especially in the public universities, the government universities, what you learn is totally different from what is applicable in the real world. So you find out that, you have graduated from school, but what you learned from school most times does not get you a job. And this is a sad situation that a lot of Nigerian youths have been undergoing. A lot of Nigerian graduates have been experiencing this sad situation. So we find things like Yahoo and prostitution very rampant among young people. But the truth is, it is the foundation that the society has laid that has actually pushed these people into this thing. I'm not justifying what they are doing, but if the foundation from the university is not fixed, I'm sorry, this whole prostitution and internet fraud that they say might just become an epidemic. It is actually quite alarming right now. But moving on from that, so as a young graduate, what do you do? What do you do if you graduate from school and then you find out that, you don't have a skill that would get you a job in the marketplace, in the labor market? Okay, let me take my personal experience. What did I do when I left school? So I studied microbiology, for those of you who do not know. But then I have become a digital marketer, an entrepreneur, a business strategist, a business owner. How did I transform into this? I actually acquired the skill. So it goes back to episode 4 of this episode. Actually acquired a skill. Right from school, I set up a blog, and then I learned on how to promote this blog, how to put up content. And do you know the funny thing? I have never for one day practiced as a microbiologist since I left school. So what do you do? How do you survive? The main thing you should do is acquire a skill. You have to build yourself up. Yes, you've gotten some knowledge from the university. The university is good. What you learned might not get you a job immediately, but then you might have built a network that can be good for you later in the future. But right now, how do you position yourself? How do you make yourself? They said Nigerian graduates are unemployable. So how do you make yourself an employable graduate? I have to tell you, the truth is, you have to add value to yourself in such a way that the employers cannot resist you. How do you do that? You pick an area of interest. You pick a career. Even if you didn't study it in school, you pick a career in which you are interested in, and then you begin to get practical experience in this career. How do you get practical experience? You begin to read about these things. So thank God for the internet. There is a ton of information out there that you can actually use to improve yourself. So begin to study this area. Begin to study this area like your life depends on it. Acquire skills in this area. Network with people who are already established in this area. Get to volunteer. Like I said before, get to volunteer for events, for organizations in this area. Do not think about getting paid immediately. The truth is, most times as a young graduate, you are not going to get paid right after, especially at the phase where you are still adding up knowledge, still building up yourself, still, improving yourself from what you learned in school. So what do? Like I said, pick an area of interest, a career of interest, and begin to acquire skills in this area. There are actually YouTube videos that you can watch. There are websites that you can read. There are mentors. There are people who are already established in this field that you can actually talk to. I believe I am making sense to you. Okay, so let's go on a short break. I'll be right back to tell you another way you can actually survive as a young graduate. Welcome back, people. So to summarize what I said initially, earlier on, you have to have this constant improvement. You have to have this mindset that, I'm constantly growing in this particular area. At this point, you cannot be a generalist. I must say, you have to be specific. Choose that area, that career area that you want to grow in, and then find every avenue to improve yourself first before you can now say, I can add value to an organization in this area. So you need to have as much practical knowledge that you can have you can be confident while having a conversation with your employer, your prospective employer. So if they see that, this person though has not gotten that much experience, but he or she seems like she can add value to our organization, definitely you have a higher chance of getting the job than someone who is not prepared at all and goes to that organization to apply for the same job. Do you get that? So the second thing that you can do to survive as a young graduate in Nigeria is to monetize your skill. Everyone wants to make money, right? So while you're at home developing yourself for this particular career that you want, your ideal career, whether I studied it in school or not, you have to make money, right? So how do you make money? The easiest way to make money is to provide a service. Now, what is that service? What is that thing that you are very good at, that people commend you for doing? Do you know how to make hair? Okay, you could make hair for people and make money out of that. Do you know how to use Photoshop? Why not begin to create logos for people and make money out of that? Do you know how to teach people how to use? Do you know how to use Excel very well? Why not organize a training and teach people how to use Microsoft Excel? I tell you, even people who have been working for so many years do not know how to use Microsoft Excel. Do you know how to take pictures? Why not organize a photography masterclass? Just what I'm saying is, that service, that thing that you're very good at, that people cannot do, don't take it as a hobby. Your hobby can be paying your bills. Your hobby can make you money. Do you understand? So don't look at it and say, is it not just plating of hair? It's about packaging. How do you package yourself? How do you put yourself out there as an expert in this thing that you enjoy? You might just pick this thing, maybe do one or two for free so that you have testimonials, you have case studies to show to future clients. But do not take your hobby for granted. That is a gift, and people would pay you to learn your gift, to learn your craft. So why not teach them? You know how to cook. I'm telling you, people make millions of naira cooking soup and supplying soup to people. Do you know that people buy soup and keep in their house? So can you offer cooking service so that people can buy your soups? Do you know that you can make money from that? You enjoy cooking, right? So just go ahead, do something you enjoy. Position yourself as an expert. Tell everyone that, I offer this service. I'm good in this area. Just try to have fun, Keep putting yourself out there. Don't be shy. Shyness does not help anybody. If you are shy, man, your hunger will beat you. So don't be shy. You get? I was actually a very shy person, I must tell you. But I'm actually coming out of my shyness. I'm still shy, but man, shyness does not pay the bills. So what am I doing? I'm putting myself out there. Now you see me as an expert. Okay, let me just round up. I don't want to keep talking, but I believe you got my points there, that you should constantly improve in this area and then monetize whatever skill that you are good at. Do not see your skill as a hobby. Monetize your skill. Offer it as a service to people. I'm telling you, people would gladly pay you if you are good at that thing that you enjoy. So they say when work is enjoyable, it becomes play, right? You get the quote, you get it right. Okay, so thank you guys for listening to Naija Biz Review podcast. I've been getting lots of feedback from you all. Keep the feedbacks coming in. You can send me an email, delurge, DLURGE at delurgeconsulting.com. Follow us at Delurge Consulting on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at Delurge Consult. You want to follow me personally on Twitter? My Twitter handle is Delurge. So join me if you're in Lagos. We're having an event on the 11th of March. We'll be having lunch. We'll be having like a hangout for entrepreneurs and anyone who wants to join in. But tickets go for 10,000 naira. We'll be having lunch at Donis Kitchen and then proceeding to Nike Art Gallery to view some art, and then having some adventure at the Lekki Conservation Center. Thank you. This episode of Naija Biz Review was sponsored by our friends at Lekki Republic, who are organizing this event. So check them out at lekkirepublic.com. Follow them on Instagram at Lekki Republic. I thank you all for listening to this podcast. If you found it interesting, kindly subscribe, kindly share, and keep the feedback coming. Have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, have a great life, have a great business. Yeah, I love you all.